this while I'm in downtown Austin traffic. So if I end up cussing, I'm sorry, but I wanted to get started with this really quickly um, before I forgot what I just listened to. So I got invited to the Austin Business Journal every year, has an economic forecast. They call it ATXNEXT downtown. And I got invited by Independence Title, Sarah Holmes. Thank you very, very much. Um, Basically what this is they talk about Austin specifically for what's going to happen, what's coming, what's going on, and stuff like that. So I'm sitting at a table with probably the economist and analyst that I respect absolutely the most. And I'm not going to say his name right now because he gave me a comment that I'm going to tell you guys. And there was a little bit of cussing involved. So there's going to be some cussing in this video. But up on stage, the panelists were the chief demographer for the city of Austin and two other very well-known economists, not only in Austin and in Texas, but nationally and even globally. People know these names. They've got consulting companies that are hired by global companies for their analytics work and their economics work. So a couple of the big takeaways, and it's always good to be validated. I'm not going to lie. I've been telling people, if you watch my Monday shows and if you watch other stuff, I've been telling people you still need to be buying if you're a buyer in Austin right now, or in Central Texas in general. And that was driven home and validated over and over and over in this. And I'm going to give you some stats off the top of my head. I've got them written down, but again, driving. First of all, this absolutely floored me because 3 years ago, this is higher than what the gross migration to Austin was. And there were people that were leaving. So the net migration was much, much lower. Net migration into Austin right now, the Austin area, when I say Austin, I'm talking what they consider the Austin MSA. That includes everything up to like Georgetown, Salado, and heck, I think Jarrell may be involved in that now. And I believe it includes San Marcos out to Bastrop, Elgin, like the whole big area of Austin. Net migration at this point is over 180 people a day. 180 people a day net moving to Austin. Okay, that's a big area. Now try this stat on for size. This has not been verified yet. This is just the kind of the beginnings of that. It's being verified now by a think tank, but it looks like builder starts. When they measure how many houses are being built, they look at the permits that are being pulled and stuff like that in the area. Builder starts might be down almost 60% this year. Okay. We've got a huge thing going on. Interest rates have gone up. And builders always overreact. Builders either build way too many damn houses or they pull way back, just kind of depending on what's going on at that specific time. So right now, builders have thrown the brakes on. If you've paid any attention to what I've been telling you, builders at this point, if houses are not under contract, they've pulled crews off of them. They're trying to save money. I was talking to a builder rep the other day, and she was telling me that when the times were good, they were hemorrhaging money. Didn't matter. And this is a well-known local builder. They were hemorrhaging money, didn't matter. Like things were getting put in wrong. They were paying $4,000 for this part that should cost $400, and they were paying that repeatedly, like on every house. But the builders didn't care. They couldn't keep up. They were just trying to get as many houses built as possible. Now they're going back and looking at all their stuff, going, "Holy crap! We were paying plumbers twice and painting crews twice on these houses," and it happened again repeatedly. And they lost a crap ton of money. And the contractors, they weren't going to tell the builders that they were getting paid twice. They're just taking the money gladly. So that's the kind of stuff that was happening because builders just don't pay attention to that stuff. When times are good, they build as fast as they can. And when times are bad, like right now, and I shouldn't say it like that, times are not bad. When the number of buyers has slowed down, they pull all the way back. So starts for 2023 are being forecasted to be cut 60%. Okay, You do the math. We've got a net of over 180 people moving to Austin, the Austin area every year, or every day, I'm sorry. And the builders have pulled back their inventory. Okay. So where's the home inventory coming from? Right now, sellers have pulled back because they don't need to sell, because if they have to sell, they're going to end up having to buy something at a 7% interest rate, 6.5%, whatever that is. The existing homeowners don't need to sell, so our inventory is already down 20% over the past year. And this analyst that I trust was telling me that inventory is probably going to be down another 20% by year end. So you've got all these people moving to Austin. We're going to have a severe lack of inventory moving forward. So what's going to happen? Where are these people going to move? Over 60% of current houses in the Austin area are rental properties. I had no clue. I had no freaking clue it was even close to that. Over 60% of houses in the Austin area are rental properties. So those people aren't going to sell their houses because rent prices continue to go up and are going to keep going up because people have nowhere to buy. So why would an investor sell a house that's just going to keep printing more money for them? I nerd out on this stuff, guys. So all of that said, we're going to be looking at a severe shortage of housing in the Austin area in the not too distant future. On top of that, did you know at this point, there are people that are working in Austin who are commuting in from San Antonio, people that are living in apartments. They're commuting from San Antonio because the apartment rents are 40% cheaper than what Austin is. Okay, guys, so this is the quote I was telling you from this analyst. His direct quote to me was, if you think housing and affordable housing have been difficult to find in the Austin area in the last 3 years, just fucking wait. That was his exact quote to me. This is a guy who deals with global companies trying to find out where housing prices and economic forecasts are going up, going down. That was his exact quote. If you think it's hard to find a house or an affordable house in Austin, Texas over the last 3 or 4 years, just fucking wait. If you are an investor, if you are trying to buy something, and I know your inventory has gone way down, and your affordability and your buying power has gone way down. Guys, not my words. These are people that get paid millions of dollars to make these predictions, are telling us it is going to get worse in Austin. If you're trying to buy something, or whether it's an investment or a personal property, do it. The area is growing quickly. I don't know what else to tell you. Yes, interest rates are not coming down anytime soon. They have trickled down again. I heard the other day somebody got like 5 3/4 or 5 7/8. Okay, that's down quite a bit from what it was. That's not what the average is right now, but they're trickling down, but they're not going to come down. Inflation has to adjust for that to happen. So the interest rates are not going to be coming down anytime soon. Still, house prices are going to go up. It's a supply and demand issue. We have a ton of people moving to Austin. We're not going to have the housing supply. Again, it's going to be cut potentially 40% of what it was last year over the next 12 months. Not great. Not great, Bob. Not good, Bob. Not good. I'm going to go off on a couple of other things here as well. Just kind of stats and data stuff for you. They got to talking about public transport, and everybody says, we need light rail, we need light rail. Well, the existing light rail at this point, its average speed is about 18 miles an hour. That's not good. So if what they're projecting, oh, by the way, Project Connect, which was Austin's answer, and they were going to, solve all these problems, spent $6 billion. Again, in the words of one of the analysts, did next to nothing. So congratulations, City of Austin. You spent $6 billion and didn't get jack for it. That's, again, not good, Bob. What else were they talking? Affordability. Not happening. This is coming from one of them as well. The only incentive for job creation that the City of Austin is currently doing is for jobs that produce under $50,000 a year paychecks. Nobody that gets that job can afford to live in Austin at this point. The median price point is well over 500,000. I think it's over 600,000 at this point in Austin. And these are jobs that are trying to be created in the city of Austin. Okay, in the city of Austin, it's actually much higher. That price point, that 500,000-600,000 is the MSA. Okay, yeah, you can go to Gerald and you can get a $250,000 house, or you can potentially get it still in Taylor or Thrall, outlying areas. But you would have to go there, and you're not going to get the incentive to live there if you've got a $50,000 job, $50,000 a year job in the city of Austin. So it doesn't make sense. So the city of Austin's pissing up a rope trying to make themselves feel good about creating jobs for lower income people. Doesn't work. That thing kind of just got me a little bit fired up. And I've got to get the word out on this because, again, guys, if you're trying to buy a house, I know it's going to suck. Your affordability is way down, and in the words of one of these analysts, you drive till you qualify at this point. You know, it used to be you could find, and used to be meaning like 2 years ago, you could go down to Sunfield and buy a $225,000 brand new home, and right now Sunfield, you're going to struggle to get in under 350. San Marcos at this point is hard to get in under 300. So, you know, it doesn't make life easier here. And I'm not trying to say it's roses and rainbows, but again, the affordability is going to continue to go down simply because of supply and demand. Thank Elon Musk, thank Samsung, thank by the way, thank the Army Futures Command. If you don't know what the Army Futures Command is, I think it's 5 or 6 years ago now, the U.S. Army opened its first base that was not an Army base in downtown Austin. There's an Austin Army base in downtown Austin. The money that has been spent to date, it's over $6 billion. Okay. They were tasked with $1 billion a year for the first 10 years to spend on things like autonomous vehicles, technology, virtual technology, things like, on the internet, web-based security, things like that. All of that stuff is being spent. Nobody knows it's happening. And when the U.S. government is tasked with spending $10 billion, think about all of the tech companies, small tech companies, startup tech companies, 5 to 10 to 50 people that are employed that are moving to the Austin area to try to get a piece of that pie. So it's not just Tesla. It's not just Samsung and those, boring companies, SpaceX, who now has land out near Bastrop as well. It's the U.S. federal government, the military, that is moving the needle in a big way. And all these people are flocking here for that, for a piece of that pie. And again, why are they coming to Austin? Well, you've got all these things, but affordability in Austin is still way higher than what it is in places like San Francisco and San Diego. San Diego, you're spending $1 million to get in at this point, and the industry is starting to come here. So if you're trying to get one of those industry jobs, now your affordability is so much better because instead of spending $1 million in San Diego for 1,000 square feet, you can come here, and if you want to spend $1 million, you're buying 4,000 square feet, or you can buy a nice, 3,000 square foot home for 600,000. So again, all of this stuff is interrelated, and they're talking about inflation and the economy, globally and with the United States. And Austin is still, what I'm getting from these people that are way freaking smarter than I am, is that we're still an insulated economy bubble. It is still one of the 10 fastest growing economies in the United States. For Austin to be considered in a recession, we've got to have below 2% growth. And now we were over 9% for the last 3 years, but currently we're at 4.7% growth. Austin is not in a recession. Austin has double plus the recession numbers. So I know it seems like we're in a recession because, gas is expensive and groceries are expensive and all this stuff is terrible to live in. But from an economic number standpoint, we are nowhere near a recession, and Austin is still booming and growing. So all of that said, how far am I in? I don't even know how long I've been talking. All I know is I'm in Oak Hill and the traffic still sucks. But That's what it is, guys. If you want to talk more about this, I've got a complete packet from them that gives all these numbers and data points and outlines. I'm actually going to be sitting down with this economist over lunch in the not too distant future to get more of his thoughts, because again, the guy's brilliant and people pay him millions of dollars for his information. I just happen to know him and I think he likes me, and so he's going to sit down and have lunch with me and a couple of friends of mine in order to get this information. So if there's anything specific you want to know, or again, look, guys, I'm a real estate agent, even though I'm a data nerd, and somebody that's trying to buy a house in this area, the entire Austin area, call me, because it's just going to get harder. And people that think that they're waiting for the bubble to burst and for interest rates to come down and for house prices to come down, guys, it ain't happening in Austin anytime soon. And that's not coming from me. That's what my prediction was on all this stuff. But that's not from me. That's from 4 people who get paid a lot of money to make these predictions. And they are on the conservative side. They don't like to be wrong, because when they're wrong, they lose income. Buckle up, folks. Foreseeable future, Austin's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on. I'll just say it like that.